Dave Ramsey loves to say that a good financial advisor has the heart of a teacher, and we would agree with that sentiment. And so we have decided to put together a couple of videos that will just allow you to understand the methodology behind how we put together financial plans and financial stress tests and the investment portfolios for our clients. So the first video that we wanted to put together is really going to give you the methodology behind how we make financial projections. And we're going to show you that by debunking a common myth, a common question that a lot of people will ask when we're presenting financial plans to them. And that is, what is the average rate of return that you're incorporating into this? So we wanted to start off our series by showing you that average rates of return can be very misleading, especially when you're in the distribution phase of life. So if you boil all of your life down to two phases, the accumulation phase, when you're receiving a paycheck and you're saving that paycheck into a retirement account, and then when you have decided that you are going to come to a point where your income is not going to come from a paycheck, but it's going to come from your nest egg. That is when average rates of return can be very misleading. So I want to show you a chart. You'll see it on your screen, and it's going to show you two columns of data over a 20-year period of time. And these are rates of return for the 500 largest companies in America, the S&P 500. And the first column is going to assume that you retired in 1989, and then you, with your $1 million portfolio, took out 5% every year until 2008. And the first column is just going to show you the rates of return that you would have received during that period of time. And it's going to give you an average rate of return at the bottom. And the second column of data is the exact same data with the exact same average. It's just in reverse order. So up here at the top, now 2008 is your first year of returns. 2007 is year 2, 2006 is year 3, and so on and so forth, all the way down to 1989. And the reason why we say that average rates of return can be very misleading is that these two columns of data have the exact same average, and you're experiencing the same returns just in reverse order, but you end up with wildly different experiences. And let me go to that next chart. So you'll see the top line is if you retired in 1989 and basically you experienced all the good rates of return first and all the bad rates of return at the end of your life. So you'll see that you were able to take your $1 million and you were able to spend $50,000 a year. And if you experienced those first sequences of returns, then you left your children between 4.5 to 5 times what you started with. But if you experienced the second sequence of returns, and 2008 was your first year, that means your portfolio fell by 37% in year 1. So your $1 million just turned into $630,000. And then you spent $50,000. So now you're at 580, and the portfolio just doesn't have the ability to recover. So you end up running out of money in 18 years. So these are just two examples of how you can have the same portfolio, same average rate of return. You can experience the same returns even if they're in a different order. But in terms of whether or not you run out of money, there is a big difference between those two sequences of returns. And so it begs the question, average rates of return are not sufficient if we're trying to calculate a sustainable retirement income. There must be a better way. And our means of calculating doesn't look at just 2 hypothetical scenarios, but it actually looks at 1,000 of those scenarios and then runs a regression analysis off of that. So this is just one way that we are able to deliver more accurate projections to our clients by not using average rates of return, but instead using what's called a Monte Carlo simulation, where we're running literally 1,000 simulations and seeing how your portfolio does in good markets, seeing how it does in terrible markets, like the one that we just described, and 998 scenarios in between. So this is a way that we deliver better results and better projections and more financial peace of mind to our clients.